Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the Massachusetts Department of Health recently released some astonishing data about the impact of the opioid crisis in our state. They wanted to better understand the relationship between pregnancy and overdose. So they linked up a lot of databases around the state to track the records of mothers who gave birth and then also died in a 4-year period between 2011 and 2015. They found something that was really heartbreaking. For 4 out of every 10 women in this group, the cause of death was opioid overdose. And during the same time period, our foster care system grew by 19%. Across the state, about 10,000 grandparents are now primary caregivers for their grandchildren, grandchildren who have often landed in their parents' arms, grandparents' arms because of this crisis. Now, this crisis isn't just about the lives that are lost. It is also about the struggle of those who have to cope when lives are long. Dr. Bell, you're an expert in the foster care system. When a parent dies from an opioid overdose, what kind of financial impact does it have on a child?
I would start by just referring to ACEs. And one of the leading ACEs, as documented through Child Trends, is separation from a parent, death, loss of a parent. And when a parent dies, that is a traumatic experience for a child that lasts throughout a lifetime. And the result of that is loss of financial, loss of this role model who was there for them, loss of this protector, this chief advocate. And our systems have to be designed to focus on how do we replace those lost elements of that child's development.
So they lose the emotional support, they lose the financial support. Let's fast forward to when the child is 18 years old. In about half of our states, foster care ends at age 18. So if a child stayed in foster care, they'll be aging out just about the time they finish high school. If a child ended up, say, with their grandparents after the death of a parent from an opioid overdose, those grandparents may be in their 70s by that point, maybe older, living on a fixed income. Dr. Bell, at age 18, do youth who have lost a parent face financial burdens in continuing their education?
They absolutely do. Yeah. And far too many of them do not complete their post-high school education, and far too many don't even complete their high school education.
You know, one of the ways that we try to take care of kids who's lost a parent is through the Social Security system. When a working parent dies, a child is eligible for Social Security survivor benefits, which are designed to help out in these kind of tragic circumstances. Until a couple of decades ago, Social Security survivor benefits were available for a child until they were 22, if they were full-time students. In 1981, Congress changed the rules and cut the benefits off at 18, even for students. The Bipartisan Policy Center, a group of both Democrats and Republicans, has recommended restoring eligibility up to age 22. Now, Dr. Bell, the average size of these benefits is about $820 a month. Is that enough money to make a difference for these young people?
Given the cost of living, it clearly is not. But I would say to you that there are a number of possibilities that we need to work on putting together to actually deal with this issue, because I don't believe that there's any single avenue that will solve this challenge that we're talking about.
But will it help us push in the right direction?
If we combine it with many other things that are possible, absolutely. And this is definitely a conversation I would love to be able to continue with you, because I think that it's pointing in a direction that we must go in.
Good, and I think that's important. You know, as Mrs. Savage testified, the opioid epidemic is not fair to anyone. And too many kids are also left to deal with the emotional and economic cost of losing a parent. We could make a common sense change to Social Security survivor benefits. It won't solve every problem, but it certainly moves us in the right direction. And I think the least we could do is restore benefits up to age 22 for full-time students so that these young people who are eligible for benefits could have a little bit better lifetime chances going forward. Thank you.